All right, Kansas City Chiefs. I had a feeling you were going to go this route. Sky Moore, breakout season, year 2. You loved him coming out, and there's a lot of targets available now in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, I have to keep faith with my own draft analysis of Sky Moore. But the rest of my rankings last season were pretty good for wide receivers. They were all looked pretty decent in the NFL, and I thought Sky Moore was every bit as good as most of those guys. So therefore, Sky Moore should be really good in this offense. Also, as much as year 1 was kind of disappointing for him, generally speaking, the problems were as a punt returner.
True.
Like as a receiver, it was more simply a lack of opportunity within the offense than, he was bad at that. It was every time they put him back as a punt returner, which he doesn't do, he kept muffing the ball or fumbling it, like disaster. So stop him doing that and let him go be a wide receiver, and he can do everything in your offense you need him to.
They had these weird games where the first half Sky Moore wouldn't do anything, and then in the second half they would just feed him the ball on short stuff and get him the ball in space. Clearly they didn't hate Sky Moore as a receiver. It's just going to be an opportunity thing. The breakout player for Kansas City, could it be Kadarius Toney, right? That's going to be one of the big questions. Is he going to be their new wide receiver 1? He's shown all the potential in the world because of his speed. His quickness is off the charts. But it was another one where it was like 2 or 3 plays almost per game. He would kind of like take your breath away, but it was only those. That was it. But if they give him more opportunities, we've talked about Rashee Rice maybe landing in this perfect spot where, again, there's targets to be had. I mean, the answer is whoever Patrick Mahomes has a good rapport with, right? Whoever he if he wants to feed the ball to one person over others, even like a guy like Richie James, who has been sneaky productive in various points throughout his stops in the league. Richie James could be this guy where we're sitting here like, oh, he's got 75 catches for the Chiefs. Richie James is this unheralded pickup. So it's whoever Patrick Mahomes decides to target as with all these targets available.
Can't believe you, Mr. Offseason hype guy, says that and then neglects to follow it up with
Justin Ross.
Justin Ross is going to be the breakout guy.
John Ross.
Yeah, you're right.
What about John Ross?
But you're right. Like, this offense we know is so potent that and there's this, unlike say the Bengals, right? Like Charlie Jones could break out within that offense because everything is functioning great and he's a really good receiver. But there's 3 guys ahead of him, so it kind of needs somebody to get hurt for it to happen. Kansas City, you've got a similar situation, except the only player of sort of serious contention ahead of you is a tight end. Like, the wide receiver depth chart is wide open. So if Mahomes just takes a liking to anybody, that guy's numbers could go to the moon just by virtue of opportunity. Like, if he simply decides to feed the ball to literally any receiver in the NFL, that guy's going to end up with like 800 yards and 10 touchdowns on the season. So if the guy has anything to him anyway, the sky is the limit, pun intended. The other obvious name to highlight is Trent McDuffie, last year's cornerback first-round pick, who missed a decent portion of his rookie season between injury and concussion, I think, as well. But when he was on the field, not only did he play quite well, but they clearly trusted him a lot. Like, he was given very difficult assignments for a rookie corner that had already missed quite a lot of time. And, you didn't see anything from his tape to suggest that he would be anything other than the player that he was in college, which was a really good corner. As much as we were so focused on the combination of Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley, like, there wasn't a big drop-off to McDuffie as the next guy, and I think he justified that last year.
Yeah, huge Trent McDuffie fan, so I like him. And Leo Chanel, I just want to throw him out there at linebacker, too. I don't know what his opportunities are going to be like, but he was good when he plays the run as well as any linebacker in Kansas City. And if he gets an opportunity, Chanel could be good. I think it shows where Kansas City is with some of their youth movement over the last couple seasons.